In exercise 7-17, what we have is basically a hexagon that's cut off at a 45-degree angle with a diameter 24 hole going down through the middle of it. Now, the dimensions that we're given right here, this 52 is not really centered on this object because this is going to be at some distance based on the fact that this is a 60 millimeter hexagon. So this 52 isn't completely accurate. We need to make sure that this hole is centered on the hexagon, and the easiest way to do that is to show an auxiliary view for the location of that. The 17 is going to be accurate because we've got a distance in here, even though it's probably not exactly 17. The auxiliary view can help us to eliminate a lot of the issues that will exist as a result of that. So in AutoCAD, what I have is I have my top view, which is just a hexagon with the circle going down through it. My front view shows this angle. The right side view is really going to just show me this view, but elongated and stretched out with a lot of additional lines that aren't necessarily needed. Now, for this particular one, if I just offset this 25, it's going to run into this view, so I'm going to need to offset it a little bit further. So if I type in just 100, when I click here and come out this way, you can see that it gives me a cursor where I can actually change that distance. Well, in this instance, 100 is probably going to work just fine, so I'm going to go ahead and offset that 100. And since it's at a 45-degree angle and that's what my snaps are set up at, I'm just going to draw a line back at that distance to kind of locate where this thing is. Now, this is going to represent the very left edge. So what I need to do is I need to offset this to show the entire width. I'm going to have a lot of different faces because what I'm going to end up with here is an elongated hexagon. So I'm going to go to my offset command and I'm going to offset this distance. So rather than specifying a distance, I just picked 2 points for the distance that I needed to offset. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to offset the distance between here and what would be here. And I can do that there and there. So now if I just go from my midpoint here to this endpoint, back to this midpoint, and then these endpoints, what I'm left with is my elongated hexagon. I can then erase these 4 lines in my part. Now I need to draw a line straight across here to locate that hole. Now that hole is going to be projected between here and here. And since it's at a 45-degree angle, it's going to look just like a circle on here. So I'm going to use the ellipse command. Well, before I do that, I need to offset the radius of this, which is going to be 12. So we'll offset that 12. Now I can use the ellipse command and draw in this elliptical shape. So we can see it's not quite a circle, but it's pretty circular. But using the ellipse command is going to give you all the information that you need to achieve that. Now, there's a lot of additional lines that would go into this particular view because we've got lines that would be coming down here, 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 here. There's just a lot. So what I want to do is I'm going to draw one of my lines down just a little bit. And on here, I'm going to come in here and go to SPL, which is my spline. And I'm going to draw a really small break and then move that from its midpoint to the end point right there. Now what that allows me to do is copy that little break in each of these locations just to kind of show that those are broken. And the other thing I could do would be draw a spline all the way around this, but having these just lets me know that it's not a full view of this particular face. So the right view in this particular drawing is completely useless. I'll be able to pull true dimensions off of everything over here to get the exact location for this face, and then the rest of the dimensions I need I can take from the other two views.